My name is Norm Peterson. I live here in Staten Island and was affected by the hurricane. And I walked down the street, which is from the high street behind us, and it felt like I was walking through the city of Nuremberg after the war, with just piles of garbage on both sides of the street, with a path that just wound through. And when I got to the house, I noticed no sounds, no dogs, no cats, no birds, nothing, no people. And so the garage door had sprung because it went buoyant. So I walked in, it was like just walking big steps over all the garbage because everything that could float, floated. The more I walked around, I saw a brown coating, which originally I thought was just dirt, which actually turned out to be human waste. So the first thing was to try to decontaminate, but I was not prepared for what I found. Total devastation. And I'm one for salvaging things, but the more I try to salvage, the more I realize it had to go. And I was kind of burned out physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. But I think I was at my lowest point in that April, early May. And I was outside, sitting in a chair, just wondering, what is the next move? A woman from Reach Global walked over. She introduced herself as Katrina from Reach Global. And she listened to a little bit of my story, and then she said, really, we can be of some help. She said, yeah, we have people donating their time. We're willing to help you. So I said, okay. First thing we needed was sheetrock. So at that time, I had limited credit on my credit card, so I went and bought 26 out of 90 sheets just to get started. And I had a couple of rolls of insulation. And then when Katrina came to the job, the question was, where was the insulation coming from? And the truck pulled up here, and I had all the insulation I needed to continue the job. I don't know where it came from, but it appeared. It's like it all came together. And I kept wondering why they're taking their vacations, time off. I kept wondering, would I go to that extreme? But by the end of the week, we were like old friends. You know, we prayed together at lunchtime, we ate together, and we shared together. Getting back to the experience when I was sitting outside when Katrina came aboard, you know, I was at my lowest point I can ever remember. To the point where I just considered giving up. Giving up what? Getting up and walking away and never coming back here? Or just giving up on my life? This experience was, I believe, the beginning of the Lord coming into my life. It's not about the religion. It's about the closeness to the Lord. And, you know, sometimes with tragedy comes big benefits. And the help that I got from the folks and the materials that were delivered, furniture, appliances, and whatnot, was greatly appreciated by me. But when people ask me, what is the real story? The real story is my connection to God. And I thought I was a believer, but until this experience, my attitude changing 180, is when really it came to me. It wasn't just about the labor, it wasn't just about the material, it was about the relationship. And I'm in a much better position today than ever before. And it was because of the storm. The storm brought out the best in so many. Unfortunately, it brought out the worst in others. But for me, I received a totally awakening. But I'm in a very, very good place. And I believe Reach Global is responsible for that. I want to bring up something about Jackie and Jackie's husband, Rob. Rob, when there was no crews around, was always looking for something to do. So he would gravitate to me And you say, well, what do we have to do? Can I be of some help? I said, well, Rob, you can be a lot of help, but I'm really not in the mood today. I said, why don't we just sit and talk? And as Rob mentioned on more than one occasion, that sometimes we do more talking than working. But communication with Rob has been, for me, extremely heartwarming and beneficial. If I need something done, sometime Rob will recognize it before me. And between Jackie and him and that couple has been, I know that they may be here short term, long term, but it's been a delightful experience meeting them. And my newest Bible, that is large print, came from them. And I'm able to read it without a magnifying glass, and to me that's really beneficial. And Jackie also is running the Bible studies on Thursdays.